What's up, everyone? I'm the one, the only Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah, and it's time. You know that it's time. It's time for Fantastic Four number 33. Oddly enough, on the side of Submariner. How is the story going to unfold? And why is the Fantastic Four fighting with one of their greatest enemies and Reed Richards' rival when it comes to the affections of one Susan Storm? Yes, but we take you to Reed's lab where he's examining this giant fish from the deep sea. And he's basically running tests, because it just kind of appeared on the shoreline. And he's, of course, a scientist and explorer, so he's just kind of taking samples, doing this and that. And worried about Submariner, Johnny Storm decides to take a ride through the coastline to make sure that everything's looking fine, if you catch my drift. But anyway, something arises from the sea. Something strange, yet familiar. And she takes off her coat to reveal that she's a beautiful Atlantean. For once, she was betrothed to Submariner. This all went down in an annual that I might or might not cover, since annuals are a hodgepodge of different stuff. But anyway, she reveals that Submariner has lost his kingdom, and in this time, this ruler called Atuma has taken power. And he's basically taken over Atlantis with his group of Atlantean barbarians as they went slashing and hacking their way through. And now Submariner is in a point in his life where he can't really ask for help. And he's kind of forsaken his kingdom one too many times in order for the pleasures of the earth, namely Susan Storm in the pursuit of her, that his people have actually gotten tired of him. Or a fair amount of them have. And granted the fact that he's half human too and not a full Atlantean, he's had a lot of things not going his way as far as his kingdom. So he was temporarily disposed of. And Atuma was made the king. And now she decides that this has to be stopped. And Submariner must be placed to his rightful rule in Atlantis. For he is arrogant, but still he is a good king to his people. Reed develops this gas serum, whatever it is, it gets all over you and allows you to breathe underwater. It'll also allow Johnny Storm to use his flame underwater, because he's able to generate oxygen. And now they go deep, going deep in the sea, going to this long-lost place of Atlantis. Now their plan is to help Submariner without letting him know that he's being helped, because he's very prideful. But anyways, the Atlanteans kind of get wind. The Fantastic Four's there. They fire a boulder, kind of hits the rocket, and Thing decides to return in kind and rockets one right back at him. Returning fire. Boom, boom. There went that catapult. Now, they're trying to fire other weapons, but Johnny, being able to use his fire powers underwater, kind of catches them off guard. As the rest of them swim towards the palace, Reed kind of gives a signal on where they're going. And this is interesting about Reed and his rubber band powers. He kind of turns himself into a manatee, with them kind of traveling in the fold of his pocket as he's fluttering his way to the sea. And of course, these Atlanteans are trying to stop him. They have a big device. He decides to launch Thing up there so he could dispose of them. Because Ben Grimm's itching for a fight. And with a little assistance from Reed, they're taking out the machines and making their way to the palace. Of course, Submariner's already there. And he's just busting his way through everything, trying to find Atuma, ready for attack, ready to take back Atlantis. And of course, with guards loyal to him, he starts storming the palace. And this is kind of interesting because there is a power struggle. Some people do believe in Submariner, others don't. And this is kind of the struggle that he's had with his people since the beginning, and even now. And as they use a dark device to kind of cover everything up, he makes his way towards Atuma, which is the only way that he could take his crown back is by beating him. Sue follows along because she's invisible and she can help him out without her being seen. Now they have this wonderful sound wave machine that they're going to use on Submariner as well as the other intruders. She uses her force field, and this goes to the power of Susan Storm's force fields. She's not only able to contain it, but the other people in there, as they're experiencing the shockwave of their life, probably being killed. Now, Atuma and Submariner square off. Submariner is naturally stronger, but he has devices on his side. Like that ion beam that he's planning on using to destroy Submariner. That thing out of nowhere just smashes. Unbeknownst to Submariner, of course, as he continues his struggle. Ben Grimm and the other ones make short work of the guard, surprised that he has such fantastic allies. And the irony is that he doesn't even know that he has them, or that they're working with him as they make their way through the guard. And as Submariner does fight Atuma, he has superior strength, but this man has devices, and he tunes up a death ray that is blocked by Susan Storm. And the reason that it's blocked is because she turns Submariner invisible. Submariner, for some reason, is unaware of this. He's swiping, taking swipes like a mad dog, but Submariner is able to dispose of him. As the Fantastic Four begin to leave due to the fact that the oxygen's wearing off the gas, Reed stretches himself further and further out, all the way to the top of the ocean, making himself like a rubber life raft. Meanwhile, as I said, Submariner takes out Atuma, sends him to prison, gets his lady back, his rule, his kingdom, everything, as Submariner is placed back on the throne, as the Fantastic Four drift away. And what will happen the next time, we'll find out. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.